Greetings VisionLink users, and welcome to this administrator tutorial, Productivity-Based Asset Settings and Targets. For switches, cycles, and work definitions, we can go in and define more for these assets. Work definitions outlines when this asset is going to be running or idling to properly define when this asset is working. We can use engine-sourced, movement and switches, switches only, or movement-based. This will depend on the type of asset that you're dealing with and also the capabilities of that asset and the device. Once we configure work definitions, we'll go in and configure switches so that we can properly set up a cycle. For switches, we need to enable a switch based on the correct device that is installed on the asset. To do this, we click on Enabled, then we type in a name of our switch as well as the name for what the closed state and open state represent, and also define when we want this to be monitored. Lastly, we should specify a sensitivity. Any switch events that occur faster than the sensitivity will be ignored. Once we enable the switch, we can go in and set cycles. Cycles are only possible to be set currently for hauling type assets such as trucks or scrapers. First, we have to configure whether or not we are using a switch, geofence, or proximity load from our respective loader as our load count. Then we'll configure our dump. Dumps will be set by a switch, so I'll use the bed switch that I just configured, and in this case, since it's a dump, I want to call it bed up. Hit save to finish the configuration. By selecting a different device, you will be presented with a set of different assets where you can go in and configure them. The ability to configure assets is still dependent on the device type, and you will see more options appear based on the different devices. For the PLE 641, we also add the moving thresholds. Moving thresholds have two defaults, either on-road or off-road defaults. Or you can specify the three options, which are radius when moving distance, the moving or stop speed threshold, and the duration. Back to the table, you'll see the summary that is sortable. You can sort by the asset ID, serial number, make or model, or device ID. We also have a summary information of the daily reporting time if set, the hour meter, or if the moving thresholds have been set. We can quickly see if maintenance mode is enabled, how many switches are configured, and if targets are active. Targets can be set by selecting a single asset or multiple assets, where we'll then be able to go to the Show or Edit Target menu to add in targets. There are several targets we can set, such as the volume per cycle, where we enter an estimated volume that will be used to calculate total volume based on a cycle count. For idle and runtime targets, I want all of my assets to run 8 hours a day, every day of the week, and I expect that they can only have 20% idle. I can set mileage targets for the estimated mileage that I want these assets to run for a week. I can set targets based on cycles, target volumes, and payload. This I can set for extended ranges. Lastly, I can also specify the estimated fuel burn rate, where I can type in an estimated fuel burn in case the engine is not calculating that. VisionLink Administrator Productivity-Based Asset Settings and Targets. Thank you very much.